cigarettes like to you? What do they seem like?
Cigarettes smoke. Like smoke, you know.
But you couldn't actually smell the cigarettes though, right?
Well, I could smell it as though somebody had just been smoking.
Because I haven't smoked in there in a long time, over 2
No,
years.
it's getting worse.
How thick was the fumes in the car?
It just felt like it was in the furniture. It smelled like the car was full of, the furniture was full of old cigarettes, fumes. That's all it smelled like.
It's interesting because last time I had somebody in it, they described it as gas or oil, but I didn't get that at all. It was almost like it didn't have any smell. It's just thick. It's thick like when there's no, you can't see the smoke, but it's in the air, you know?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And it was like cigarettes. It wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like, it was more like the tar from the cigarettes. It had permeated the furniture and it was still off gassing, which it can do for years. To get rid of that smell, you have to have the upholstery professionally cleaned, you know, doing that. But he's trying to tell you he doesn't think it's your car's exhaust system leaking. So he's charged up your free and he's made you some suggestions about.
Alright, for the record, there hasn't been very many cigarettes smoked in my car. There was weed smoked in my car. Now, cigarettes have nicotine and other very disgusting chemicals in it that cause it to stick to clothing more. Weed is very sticky. It does stick. But there's a difference. You know, you would smell weed. No one reported smelling weed, old weed or otherwise. And notice in the clip, go back if you have to, she said it was in the air, right? At one point, her perception was it was coming from the upholstery because there was no other explanation for it. But she acknowledged real quickly that it was in the air. Just like when you say someone smoked a cigar in a room and then you can no longer see the smoke in the air and it's thick like that. She agreed that that's what it was. That's key in this. So now I have 3 people, including myself, experiencing the same thing in the car, and 2 experiencing the same thing in the room. And one of the people, the person who's known me best, she did not want to come to my room to go on record because she said, then I'm going to get drugged with whatever it is as well. That's what she said. Almost her exact words. Thank you. Yeah. You smell any fumes now?
No.
It was just earlier.
When I got in the car, it smelled like oil or gas.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell what it smelled like. But I don't think it's a coincidence that they're fuming my room. You feel me? And that this car regularly, you see this? The service do 134,000 miles.
Yeah.
So the mechanic doesn't ever fix anything and it's always fuming. So it must be fuming when he looks at it because it'll be in the shop for like 3-4 days. You know, and it's usually when the car's sitting alone, you know, sitting around for a while that the fumes go in the air.
Yeah.
So the fact that the mechanic doesn't feel the need to fix anything and he checks everything and nothing's leaking seems to suggest that it's not oil or gas, that it's actually fume. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually something they're doing. And maybe it's not remote controlled because why would they do it when you're coming around, you know? So unlike a psychiatrist, I do not jump to conclusions and at the first sign of something assume that I'm correct. I have been studying this gang stalking phenomenon for over 4 years, and I only go by the facts. The facts are that I have 2 witnesses other than myself. 3 people all detect the same smell, the same fumes in the car. We have 3 different ideas of what they are, and that is consistent with an unknown substance planted by the government or, you know, a less than common leak from the car. Most likely placed there
in a way that is has a lot of plausible deniability, as we have seen with pretty much everything else going on. That is the main theme of gang stalking. Make the person seem crazy and do things in a way that you can chop up to it's in the person's head, or that's not a big deal and this person's exaggerating. The facts are that I have them on record hijacking my phone, and before that, psychiatrists and their minions in the comments were pretending that it was in my head. They were also pretending the fuming in my car and in my room was in my head. I've proven them both. So when you look at the screen, right, you see a picture of a $220 bond that was cashed, a government bond. They charged me $226 for the car. And at first I said, that's odd. So I went straight to Facebook. And within 10 minutes or so, someone commented they had been experiencing the same sorts of activities where they recently had gotten paid $600 or so. It's in the comment. I can't remember from the top of my head, but they recently got paid a certain sum of money, and their mechanic charged them that sum of money. And it was a consistent behavior with the people running the psyops. So now, instead of doing what shrinks do at the first sign, in less than a minute, say, oh, this person must be bipolar because he's talking fast. I instead coupled it with years of facts on my case and other people's testimonies as well. I have 9 witnesses to the psyops. Some of them have witnessed more than one aspect of it. I have hundreds of other people who report similar incidences, and every single last one of them is a rational person with their life otherwise together. This is completely inconsistent with people who experience paranoid schizophrenia. If we were to group a large group of people who were paranoid schizophrenics in a group, how many of them would be rational? How many of them would be calm? How many of them would be logical and have their life together other than their few misconceptions or delusions? I would say maybe less than 10%, and that's a conservative estimate, You wouldn't see over 98%. No, this is consistent with a psyop, and the abundance of evidence makes that clear. It would be insane. I would be some kind of complex having shell like a shrink to say otherwise. And anyone who says otherwise is really in need of reading. They need to get their reading comprehension up. They need to do a lot of mental conditioning. They need to stop being conformists and start being deep thinkers. They need to think for themselves. They need to do their research. For those of you who are new, I've already proven that they're messing with my playback and they're slowing my videos down. This is from my James Jackson channel. So this is happening on all my channels. Alright, first, far away. So the one at Psych Central, whatever it was. Oh yes, I added these to my thing. 3 negative online tests, self-assessment tests, the best score possible. I don't have OCD, schizo, bipolar, or schizophrenia. So I took 4 tests and I added the results to the extremely damning and most damning video playlist. Remember, I also have the person who's known me the best in the last 14 years saying that there's nothing wrong with me. And my mom on record saying I don't have schizophrenia. So let's go back here. Remember, she's privy to all the psych exams I've had in my life. Let's go back here again. Let's just show you this again. Far away. Every time I watch this, I'm like, every single time I watch an old combo, I'm thinking, you know what? This is not how it looked before. They must have went back at some point and slowed down every video. This is not how it was published before. And then, of course, when I go back to here, right, this is just a random video. I can already tell you you know, that they mess with it. Now let's go here with the watch. Yes, the watch in place.
One, far away.
So it's way faster than that's more like it looked like when I first released it. And that's more like it looks like on the thing.
So the one at Psych Central.
So let's go over that one more time. You can see it's faster. I mean, I say way faster. It's noticeably faster. And the sound also is quicker. You know, they slowed down the sound so it's more dragged out, just a little by a fraction of a second, just enough so where it affects it.
One, far away.
And that was much.
So the one at Psych.
That was much more respectable than the first one. Go over this clip a few times, you'll see what I mean. And remember, they're also pushing philosophies that are conducive and make people less apprehensive about doing mind control and running psychops on people, such as gays, you know, who have no moral code, as gay philosophy, who attack religions with a strong moral code, Satanists who do satanic ritual abuse, feminists who want to use mind control to empower women and make people think that there's no difference between men and women. You know, gender feminists, the most prominent, the most dominant form of feminism. Atheism, which goes hand in hand with the philosophy of science, using science without a moral code to get what you want and doing what's best for yourself. And eugenics, and using mind control to, you know, do eugenics on the groups of people you don't like, whether they're racial or otherwise. And let's see what group did I cover here. Oh, criminals. You know, obviously criminals have no problem using psychology and scaring people and extorting them and what have you. Keep in mind this combo is newer than the other one, which I believe is from a year ago. This one's from last month or something like that. Right? Yeah, it's from last month.
Watch next to it.
Look at that. I mean, that's nothing like you shit, man. What's wrong with you two, man? You're making it cute, man. Look at that. That's what...
Alright, so that's that one there. Here's the one from the editor. I mean, from the enhancement. Well, you should go with the editor, it's not the official editor.
Look at that. I mean, that's nothing like you shit, man. What's wrong with you two, man? You're making it cute, man. Look at that. That's what...
So it does seem to be a little bit faster.